Hey everyone, and welcome back on another trigonometry lesson with Mr. Simons. I'm starting from basics, grade 11 trigonometry general solution, and I will be compiling 7 videos to show you all the different ways we test general solution. Please remember to like and subscribe so I can continue making content like this. That will assist learners, which I greatly enjoy, making my subject more understandable. Alright, also make sure I'm not doing mark allocation in all of them. Make sure you see where you get method marks, because sometimes even if you don't get the answer right, you can still score 3 to 4 out of whatever marks they're giving to you. So without further ado, let's start. So you should remember from your grade 11 work that to plot a sine graph or to plot a cos graph, it must have a period of 360 degrees. So I need 360 degrees to draw a complete cos and sine graph. For tan, I need 180 degrees to draw a complete graph before I get my asymptotes. So when we solve the general solution, we add for tan k 180, and for sine and cos we're going to add k 360, where k is any integer. And this simply means we're adding multiples of 180. As I said, this simply means we're adding multiples of 180 and 360 in any direction. I'll explain that when we do the problem. Reference angle, so we need to use the angle that's acute, meaning less than 90, that we can use to see what other values would give me the same answer depending on what's given. So question 1, determine the general solution of tan theta equal minus 7 over 2. So in reality, what we want, what angles can I put in the place of theta that I will press tan that angle, it will give me an answer of minus 7 over 2. So before we can do that, we first find the reference angle, and take note, I'm not going to use the negative. So to get the reference angle, I press shift tan 7 over 2. Alright, and that there on my calculator would give me 74,0546,041 degrees. Alright, that's my reference angle, and for that I give you 1 mark. Now we need to understand the cast rule. According to the cast rule, tan theta is negative in quadrant 2 and 4. Alright, quadrant 3 and 1 it is positive. So because they gave me negative 7 over 2, my answers lie in quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. So in quadrant 2, it will always be 180 minus the reference angle, and in quadrant 4, it will always be 360 minus the reference angle. So 180, so theta is given there, equal 180 minus 74,056041 plus k times 180, because I'm dealing with tan, or theta equal 360 minus 74,05 plus k times 180. Give you 1 mark for creating that 2 equations. Another mark for simplifying, so 180 minus 74,05. Right, that would give me 105,95 plus k times 180. 360 minus 74,05 gives me 285,95 plus k times 180, and I have to specify compulsory k is the element of integers. So what we've technically solved, if I just make k 0, if I choose the integer 0 and 0 there, 0 times 180 is 0, 0 times 180 is 0. So if I press tan 105,95, it must give me an answer of minus 7 over 2. If I press tan 285,95 degrees, it will also give me an answer of minus 7 over 2. Now I can find many other values depending on which values I choose in the place of k. But that's just basics and refreshing what you should know from grade 11. Alright, now let's look at the second variation, how we give this to you. And determine the general solution of 2 sine theta equal 1. So now we put the coefficient in front of sine. I have to make sine the subject of the formula, so I have to get rid of the 2. This means 2 times sine. So to get rid of multiplication, I'm going to use division. So sine theta then equal 1 over 2. To find the reference angle, I'm going to press shift sine half and that will give me a reference angle of 30 degrees. Again, 1 mark for reference angle. So please ensure you get that mark. Now sine half there is a positive value, so we should know sine is positive in quadrant 1 and quadrant 2 according to the cast rule. So in quadrant 1, theta equal 30 degrees plus k times 360 for sine, or theta in the second quadrant 180 minus the 30 degrees plus k times 360, which then simplifies to 150 plus k times 360. 1 mark for creating that two equations, another mark for simplifying and specifying that k is an element of integers. Alright, we can also put all the values on one side, so let's look at the last problem here. Determine a general solution of 3 cos theta plus 2 equals 0. So first, again, I have to make cos theta the subject of the formula. So plus 2, if it goes across, becomes negative 2. That's 3 times cos. So to get rid of the multiplication, I'm going to divide. So that becomes then negative 2 divided by 3. Press shift cos 2 over 3 without the negative. And I get a reference angle of 48,189, etc. In which quadrants is cos negative? Quadrant 2 and quadrant 3. In quadrant 2, 180 minus the reference angle. Quadrant 3, 180 plus the reference angle. So there theta is given equal 180 minus 48,18 plus k times 360. And that simplifies to 131,81 plus k times 360. There 180 plus 48,18 gives me 228,19 plus k times 360. And note k is an element of integers. 1 mark for creating that equation, another mark for simplifying. Right, so that's just basics of general solution. In the next 6 videos, I'm going to look, this is very basic grade 11. I'm going to look at the different grade 11 variations as well as the new grade 12 variations to catch you out. Alright, but yeah, I'm going to make sure you understand how to do it. God bless. Bye.